Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Bobby Hams here with my review of Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, or as the WB wisely renamed it as just Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn. No, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. Because really, who the hell is going to try to search and find Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of One Harley Quinn? Horrible, horrible marketing idea for a title. But the movie itself was not as bad as the title was. So Harley Quinn, the character, is based off of the Batman the Animated Series cartoon from 1994. She wasn't from the comics like Joker and Batman and Robin and all the rest. She was actually a creation by Bruce Timm and everyone else who worked on that show in the 90s. And she was such a popular character from that cartoon that she eventually got her own comic in DC and now eventually her own movie.
Miss?
Tried to play by the rules, but no, they wouldn't let me go straight. Society is to blame. Back off, rich boy. I'm armed.
Now, Margot Robbie is the actual standout in this movie, I think. She totally nailed Harley Quinn's attitude, how ditzy and aloof she is at times, how incredibly violent she can be at times, but also her ability to see into someone else's personal mental state, because she was a trained psychiatrist after all. So Margot Robbie was able to incorporate all those aspects of Harley Quinn into this very believable three-dimensional person who in the movie is kind of doing the same thing that's going on in the DC Universe cartoon show.
Yeah, you know, I am so gonna show the world I am more than just Joker's girlfriend.
There you go. There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
have my own capers.
Goddamn right you are.
Like I'll kidnap the mayor of Gotham and I'll put him in a missile and I'll just like shoot it at the moon, unless he names a highway after me, huh?
Okay.
I'm actually still workshopping that, but
Yeah.
me and the Joker, we are so through.
Okay, cool. Yeah. No.
Anyway, like I said, Margot Robbie does a very great job of making Harley Quinn her own in the same way that Ryan Reynolds made Deadpool his own. Like, after seeing Birds of Prey, I can't imagine anyone else actually being Harley Quinn. Maybe that's too much high praise, but I actually like the movie, even though it's struggling at the theaters and has been since it came out. I don't know why, because, well, I kind of know why, because when I saw the trailer for the movie, I had no idea what the movie was about. The trailers didn't do a very good job sort of providing any hints as to what was going to go on in the movie. And that was, again, like the name, the title of the movie, really on the marketing department's kind of they dropped the ball there. But the movie itself deals a little bit with Harley breaking up from Joker and then the aftermath of her breaking up with Joker. That's her story. But then that's not the whole movie, which is what I found surprising when I watched it, is that it deals with kind of the origin stories for everyone else in the movie. You know, Montoya, Huntress, Black Canary, also the other Birds of Prey, which I guess Montoya's not really a bird. Huntress isn't a bird either. Black Canary is the only actual bird in the Birds of Prey. What? Ewan McGregor is the evil Black Mask in Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, and he is clearly having himself a grand old time. He is clearly loving the role of being such an unconscionable villain who is incredibly violent, and just, he's not like the Joker where you can't, I don't know how to really explain Black Mask, because he isn't as unpredictable as the Joker. Joker will leave you on the edge of your seat, kind of clinging to your nails, you know, trying to figure out what he's gonna do next. Black Mask just kind of snaps, and Joker doesn't really snap. He kind of, you know, Joker messes with you mentally. Maybe he will snap, maybe he won't. Black Mask just definitely snaps. There's no maybe he will, maybe he won't kind of deal with him. Now, Harley Quinn is the one who narrates the movie, which I guess is why the marketing had her kind of top billed as the title. But the movie isn't really about her, it's about all of them. So maybe that was the thinking for the marketing thing, I have no idea. The way that Harley narrates and kind of tells the story is very entertaining, way more entertaining than it was done in Suicide Squad, where it's like, oh, there's a crocodile guy, and then there's a fire guy, and then here's the I don't remember who else was on there. Oh, Captain Boomerang, and then the rope guy. It actually had Harley introduce a character, say like Montoya, give a little bit of backstory on Montoya, and then see how Montoya fit in with the movie itself, and then it would follow her until, you know, Huntress would show up, and then tell you what Huntress's backstory was for a little bit, and then it'd go on from there. And their chemistry builds up little by little. You know, Harley meets Canary, they obviously don't get along very well. When Harley meets Montoya, they don't get along very well. Harley meets Huntress, they don't get along very well, but by the time they see each other a second or third time, they kind of know, oh, I know you from that place, and now we got to deal with this thing. So their chemistry kind of builds up to that team mentality by the end, which was something that I think made a lot more sense than just Suicide Squad, where people just were forced together, I guess just because a movie had to be made. It felt a lot more organic in this movie, and it felt a lot more genuine, and I really appreciated that. It made the humor, which is kind of weird at times, but and I say weird, but that it's very macabre. It's kind of dark humor in this thing, but it made it work because you kind of learn who these characters are. They're not really Powerpuff Girls, although that show is pretty violent too. But in any case, there aren't any super memorable lines in the movie, but watching it, it's enjoyable enough to where you can kick back and laugh and not just be like, hey, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Going along with the dark humor, this is rated R. I don't think it needed to be rated R, honestly. The violence in it is kind of gruesome at times, but it's nothing on the level of like Saw. It's not like, what's that called? Torture porn. It's not nothing like that, but you do see some broken bones, and there's a lot of explosions and a lot of gunfire. So there's a lot of violence in there, and there's a lot of, F-bombs being dropped left and right. Now, there are movies like that made in the 80s. I'm a child of the 80s, so I grew up watching movies that were rated PG-13 that had a couple F-bombs and a lot of violence in them. Rated R today doesn't seem like rated R to me, but I mean, that's just how things have become now. Now, something that I did see online the other day was that someone was calling it a feminist failure, which I didn't really get that notion or that perspective from watching the movie itself. It is a female-driven movie, but there isn't like a feminist hinge to it, I guess, a feminist tinge to the whole thing. They aren't going around bashing, they're not like man-hating on Black Mask or any of his goons or just men in general. Nothing like that's going on. It is the 4 women and the young teenage girl. So Robbie, Bell, Lopez, Winstead, and Basco, I mean, the movie centers around them, but they're not going around like, down with men, murder the penis. There's nothing crazy like that going on. And it isn't like a subtext of man hate going on either. It's just these women who Montoya's a cop, Huntress is an assassin, Canary, she's a martial artist with superpower. She has a superpowered voice. And Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, she's Joker's insane sidekick. So the 4 of them by themselves don't really need men in their lives. And they kind of display that on screen, but they don't go around saying it. It's not like an overt, thing where like, we're going to take down the male patriarchy or anything like that. So I don't know where this person got the idea for it was a feminist movie to begin with. So I think that particular link that I saw about it being a feminist failure, the feminist part especially, I think it's just clickbait. So obviously I do like the movie. The only thing that I didn't genuinely enjoy was the MacGuffin thing, and that's because of Marvel movies that have made the MacGuffin the main plot of their stories for like the past decade. Most of them, I think, except maybe 1 or 2 of the Captain America movies didn't have a MacGuffin, but just about 90% of Marvel movies over the past decade have been about MacGuffins, chasing this Infinity Stone, chasing that Infinity Stone, and it's just worn me out for MacGuffin. So the fact that this movie kind of focused on having a MacGuffin, I didn't care for that at all. I still enjoyed the movie besides that, but it really stuck out to me as something that I just like, MacGuffin again. Other than the MacGuffin thing though, Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey is a good movie. It's very rewatchable. Yeah, it's very watchable. There's I love the action in this thing. Oh my goodness, the action choreography is fantastic. It is like, I wouldn't go as far as saying John Wick levels, but it's near there. It's near there. No, it's not. It's not near there. It's not near there. But it's very creative for a DC EU movie. It's just still DC EU. Who cares? It's very well choreographed and well shot and well lit. The action scenes are great. I especially love one of the near ending action scenes where they're in the funhouse, and then the little chase scene after that with Harley Quinn on the rollerblades. It all looks really good, and the humor works very well. Like I said, it's very dark, not depressingly dark, but like it's like it makes you feel kind of messed up or laughing about some of the stuff. that happens to people. And now it isn't nowhere near as thought-provoking as Joker was, so I wouldn't expect to see Margot Robbie or anyone from the whole movie, you know, earning any Oscars anytime soon. But it is way more fun and less dour and depressing than Joker, that's for sure. Because I think since that movie came out, I mean, I think it's out on DVD now, but I watched it twice in the theater and then never watched it again. So I love Joker. I absolutely loved it, but I was able to watch it twice in the theater and then never again. Now the R rating I think is deserved, even though I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's deserved and integral to the storytelling, because if it gets chopped down to a PG-13 version, you know, like for like cable television or something, the movie's not gonna make any kind of sense. The dub-overs are gonna be like really horrific. I mean, like like snakes on a plane kind of horrific. These mother-loving snakes off this mother-loving plane kind of stuff. So R rating is kind of necessary. It's not. I don't think it's necessary, but it deserves to be R rated. And because of that, it makes the movie a good candidate for like multiple viewings. It's very enjoyable, I think. But is it worth like swooping into theaters for? I don't think so. It's not that great. Honestly, I don't think it is, but it is worth the price of admission. And I had more fun than a canary in a coal mine. So dumb. But that's gonna do it for this review. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to like and subscribe to things. And I'll see you in the next video when I tweet my revenge plans on that bad old putty tat. You get it? Because Warner Bros.